say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication. They wanna say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication. These niggas say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication. They wanna say they dedicated, I don't see the dedication now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH with another one. I'm learning things as I go along, and I pass the information as I go along. Pay problems. Some people, a lot of people, you are not getting paid for all the hours that you're working in the correct way. Working for the post office can be very complex when it comes to your pay. I, in a previous video, discussed different ways we get paid extra. But I'm learning, like I said, so I'm going to pass this information on to you. But before we continue, I'd like for you to realize that when I describe things and I put information in the video description below, it's not because I'm making money off of it. No, it's because I've used certain products or I've looked up certain products. Now, I know I mentioned purchasing power before, and I mentioned how easy it is to get in, and it's just a matter of just filling out the form and online. You download the app and it's there for you. You may never use it. But it's there just in case. Now, here is what I did, and I'm going to actually show you what I'm paying for a full, I think it's 5-day cruise. Take a peek. $27 every pay period. $27 every pay period. That comes out to what? $13.50 a week for a cruise? Who can beat that? Yes, it may be a little more expensive in the long run, but you know, everything comes with interest. Everything's expensive nowadays. But let's get back to the topic. If you want to check that stuff out, it's in the video description below. All right, there's the purchasing power, there's the loans for feds, there's the different ways to buy homes, there's financial advice, there's everything. It's there. But let's talk about this money thing. And I always got a backstory on how I learned things, so let's go to the backstory. Got a question. It's like, hey, I'm a regular. My hours are from 10:30 a.m. until 6:30 or 7, whatever it is, you know, the 8-hour shift. They asked me to come into work from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., 12-hour day or 5:30, whatever it is. Now, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's a 12-hour day for a clerk. So the clerk is under the APWU. Follow me. Stop losing focus. 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. What type of extra pay is this individual going to get? Well, let's break it down. And this is what I learned. Because they're set in a schedule, we have schedules when your career, this can be considered out of schedule pay. I thought it was out of schedule pay. You're like, Jay, what the hell's out of schedule pay? Well, here goes. Out of schedule pay is if you have a set bid and for some reason somebody else is not there and they're like, look, need you to cover for a month, whole different schedule. Well, you're going to get paid a different amount per hour. Well, you know, different amount because you're out of your normal schedule. So it's out of schedule pay. It's a higher pay rate. But let's go back to, I thought that's what it was. I thought that's what she was going to get. But no, I was wrong. Jay was wrong. He admits it. He was wrong. So you're probably wondering why the sleeve thing. Let's stick to the topic though. The sleeves is because carriers, you probably have it on your right arm because the sun eats you up. Got too many things going on. Jay's on driving a truck and I'm realizing I'm getting burnt on one side, so I got the sleeves cheap anyway. She is coming in 5.5 hours earlier than her time. 5.5 hours begin tour. Overtime, basically. 5.5 hours. So instead of her being there at 10:30, she's coming in at 5. So for the first 5 hours, yes, it is out of schedule, but it's only for one day. But she should get paid for it, right? Absolutely. She should get paid a higher rate for it, right? Absolutely. Because if that's not your normal thing, hey, once you become regular, understand you've hit the motherland, you've hit the promised land. They're not supposed to be playing with your times. Not supposed to be playing with your times. They ask you to come in earlier. It's a begin tour overtime. So for 5.5 of those hours, she should get the overtime prior to, right? Makes sense. Overtime until she actually supposed to start, which is 10:30. But being that she's not fulfilling the whole day, which is the 10:30 to 7 or whatever time she's supposed to work, she's not going to get it on the back end. Don't lose me yet. 5.5 hours of overtime in the beginning. Off rip, 5.5 hours. But she's working 12-hour day. Two of those 12 hours should be normally overtime as well, right? I don't know because anything after 8 hours is overtime. So I'm not sure about those last 2 hours, but I am sure that she's going to get 2 hours of V time, which is double time, penalty pay, which is double pay. So whatever her rate is as a career employee, she should get 2 hours of V time on top of the 5.5 hours of overtime in the beginning. She should get a nice chunk of pay for that specific day. The problem that I'm noticing is that when they asked her to come in earlier, she's never really been, or maybe she hasn't noticed that she's getting paid the overtime for the beginning of the tour. So again, 5 a.m. is between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. What does that mean? What does that mean, Jay? That means she should get 1 hour of night differential pay as well, which is a higher rate as well. So one of those hours should be night differential pay. People, pay attention to your paychecks. If you don't understand what your paycheck is, speak to your union representative. If you have a union representative that really doesn't engage, talk to another close confidant that's in your station, at your plant, and explain it clearly to them. Don't make any assumptions, but explain it clearly to them and ask them, hey, am I supposed to get paid a little more for this? And if they don't know, they may find somebody else that knows. I don't know every answer. I don't. But I do know, I was reading over the union contract yesterday. I think it's page 26 or section 26 in the APWU contract. And it starts to explain the breakdown of the extra pay and how, people that work under the union get paid. So if you're confused, look it up for yourself. The words can be complex, but again, educate yourself. We don't want to give anybody any extra money. You come there to make money. I go there to make money. We all trying to make money to make a living. So it's of dire importance you pay attention to your checks. Now, this has probably been going on for the last 4 or 5 months. Now, in a case like that, she needs to go to her union representative. Union representative will then request the clock rings from management and go through it with a fine-tooth comb to see where they may have shorted her pay. It's of dire importance. If you work for it and you're owed it, you get it. Well, Jay, I'm not career yet. Good point. For those that are PSEs or PTFs, they don't have PTFs in the clerk position anymore. They have full-time flexible, which is what they should have named it anyway, which is basically an unassigned regular. Unassigned means that you don't have an assignment, but you are a career employee. Pretty much. but you're not getting paid by the hour. Or you're actually getting paid by the hour, you're not getting the salary. So there are a lot of technical terms that I implore you to try to educate yourself. If you have questions, I will try my best to answer them. Or if you see me say, hey, speak to your union rep, it's not that I'm blowing you off. It's because I don't have specific answers for every single question. That's truth. I'm just a man. Just a man trying to pass along information. Non-career employees, they do get overtime as well. They do get night differential as well. They do get the V time as well. Okay? Do they get Sunday premium pay? No. That's only for career employees. But and you don't have a set schedule when you're non-career. So you don't have that, oh, well, I usually come in at this time, so do I get this pay beforehand? No, you don't. Because you don't have a set schedule. You don't have a set bid initially. If this sounds like mumbo jumbo, don't worry, you'll understand it sooner than later. Save this in your save this video in your video section to go back to later. Although it sounds like mumbo jumbo, somebody understands it. Somebody understands it. But again, I don't like to drag things out, although it seems like it was dragged out. Please make sure that if you are not sure on how you get paid by the hour, or whether it's salary or whatever, that you do some searching for yourself. This goes for the mail handler craft. This goes for the carrier craft as well. Same concept of the begin tour overtime. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. If you're making $20 an hour and you're getting, what is it, time and a half? Time and a half, that comes out to what, $30 an hour? Yeah, I ain't nothing to sneeze at you. Okay? So again, due diligent, make sure you know what's going on with your paper, okay? Because I don't like to see people lose out on money. And if you have a union representative that is there working for you, they will be glad to check your clock rings. They'll ask you for your paycheck and all this other stuff and see what it is, and then they'll go through it. It's of dire importance that you make sure you have your union rep's phone number, your union vice president phone number, the president, the secretary, whoever, because those are the people that will be there for you to make sure that things are being followed by the contract. Understood? Let's get it, Postal family. Jay Hizzle, we out.